Oh, what's up, guys? So I'm in my car, and I'm gonna show you guys what I did so far on the inside. That's with all my gauges, light bar, my switch panel, and where I stuck the fuse box, the racing fuse box. I still got a lot to do on this car. The inside, of course, still needs to be painted again. The gauges are going to probably be taken out. I'm going to actually do my own gauges and get rid of almost the whole entire wiring harness. I did go ahead and install one of my RPM gauges. It's the shifter one. Every time you shift, light comes on. So I got that in today, and I think that's all I'm going to do. I just wanted to do a small little video, so I'm going to show you guys where I wired it first to the engine, and hopefully I got it right. I'm pretty sure I did. I hope. So the green wire that comes off the back of that RPM gauge, I believe, I tried hooking it up to the green, and if my camera can focus here, I tried hooking it up to my green, and I believe it's green and yellow, and then there is a blue and white, and then a black and white. These ones didn't work, the blue and the green, so apparently the black one works because my RPM is moving. So I'm guessing it is this one. If I'm wrong, can someone please tell me which color it is? Is it the blue, or is it the green, or is it the black and white? Because the blue and green one didn't work. It didn't move my RPM at all. But this one is. So I'm for sure it's got to be this one. I'm not for sure, but if anybody out there that has a 95 Eclipse and knows something about these gauges, let me know what color it is. If not, I'm pretty sure I got it right. I'm pretty sure. So that's taken care of. One more thing. I'm going to show you guys the inside of the car. I'm still working on the tail lights. I'm actually going to custom make my own tail lights with new LED lights. But there's the battery. What is wrong with this camera? So there's the battery. I placed the battery in the back, and I think it's easier to get to, and I don't have to worry about unlocking my hood, pulling my hood off just to get to the battery, when I can just open the trunk and plug right there. So, and for all the tail lights and everything, it's actually hidden in the actual car, so it's inside of it, not through there. If any owners that has an Eclipse like mine, you know that the wires usually come right here and then come back around, but mine is actually in the wheel well, so I'm not ever going to have to worry about wiring. The only wiring that's going to be left out exposed would be the power to the car, and of course the power to the amp, and then of course these to the stereo, so, and of course the ground. The fuel pump wiring and everything, I'm going to figure out which one tells me that I'm low on gas, the light, whatever else, blah blah blah. I pretty much know what starts the pump, so I got that to a switch. But everything else, I'm going to slowly figure that out, because I want the old wiring harness completely gone, and I want brand new wiring harness in here that I will like, because I don't like the way that wire goes up. Actually, it goes that way and then up and then into here and then back out and then down the floor, but that's the only one that's going through. The rest of it's going into the wheel well, and then the rest of it's going back towards over there where my power cord's sticking out. It goes into that little cover piece between the seat and the door, and then I got my power cord underneath the seat in the center console, And then, see, as you can see, I got my power cord. This is a 0 going through under the seat. And then right there is the power cord, and then the stereo, and of course the antenna. And then the power cord goes through here and then comes up right up underneath the first nut, the first part, and then the top part is what runs everything else. So when you get in the car and say for some godly reason somebody actually got my keys and you put it in the ignition and turn it, nothing comes on at all. So when you put this key in and turn, everything comes on. Everything. When I want to push things on, turn things on. But as you can see, my RPM, I mounted it right there because I'm not going to put the airbag system back in here, because as you can see, it's all torn out. Everything's torn out of here. So this car is light as hell. So this is my RPM gauge. So every time I shift, a light will come on, and I got it set for 5. I like going up to 5 because then the car pops. So I keep it there, and every time I shift, my lights will go off. But I don't know where the light actually clips into this. I don't know where it's at, so I'm going to cut this off and actually run my own LED system. And I'm actually going to probably do it right here, right in front of the dash, so that way when it tells me to shift, the whole thing will just light up and then I can shift. So that runs all the lights, everything. So this is my turn signal for the left side, right side turn signal, hazard lights, my stereo, fuel, and fan right here on this switch. You got your fog lights, low beams, high beams. So when I turn on my fog lights and low beams and then go and turn on my high beams, my fog lights automatically go off and my high beams stay on and my low beams stay on. So when I turn off my switch to my high beams without turning this off, my fog lights automatically come back on. So that's how that works. And of course, you got the start button. So say for instance, I can start it here or I can start it there. It doesn't really matter which way you want to start it, but I'm thinking I'm going to probably fix that and actually just start it right here and just use that for the ignition for everything else that I would probably kind of need, kind of don't, I don't know. But this is made out of 1/2 inch thick plexiglass, and it took me a good couple hours just to bend it into shape. I mean, because it's so thick, as you can see, 1/4 inch. And I had to heat it up so many times to push down on it or push in on it to get that shape. So it made a perfect shape. I got my fingerprints all over it, whatever, but it made a perfect shape. So I'm kind of happy with all that and the way it glows. And I'm glad that I put that RPM there, because honestly, I don't like it here. I don't like it here. I didn't like it over here. I mean, I had no other place. And then I was like, well, crap, I'll just put it right here. Because I was thinking about drilling a big hole right here and putting it right here, but that would kind of look kind of stupid. So I kept it over here, and it's mounted in, and I like it the way it is. Now, for the inside lights, I do have LED strips running down for the inside cab lights on both sides, as you can see, going up. And then as for my fuse box, we're going to take a gander down, way down under here. There's my fuse box. So that's my racing fuse box. I got all my lights down at the bottom. If my stupid camera were adjust, everything's on its own switches, everything has its own fuse. There's another fuse box right there mounted with more relay switches, and then the power cord. So there's my homemade
fuse box for the whole entire car, for the whole system. And let me tell you, mounting that upside down underneath the dash took me 2 hours to do, to believe it or not, because I had no help to hold it up or nothing like that, and the self-tapping screws were being a bitch for me to drill it through. But I finally got it with the help of one of my windshield wiper arms. So I was able to bolt that up there. So yeah, and I'm glad I did it that way because everything is marked and it will be easier to get to, quite honestly, to, you know, change out fuses, whatever blows, blah blah blah. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys on this right here and see what I'm talking about when I plugged it into the other cord, the black and white. So I'm going to turn this on. As you can see, everything's coming on. Fog lights, low beams. You can see the light reflecting off the box. And then my high beams right there. And then this little magical one is my light bar that's up here. I'm gonna get something to put underneath it so the light doesn't reflect down, whatever. So that's my light bar. And then this one's my turn signal. As you can see, my signal over there is blinking, if you can see it. I don't think anybody can see that. It's too bright. It's too bright outside. And then of course that one, this one's my stereo. Stereo comes on. And then this one's my fuel and fan, which I'm going to go ahead and turn on now because I'm going to turn on the car. Ooh, squeaky. So as you can see, my RPM is like glitching out, but right here, that's where my RPM's at. But when I hit the gas down here, right here, the RPM moves a little bit. See that? So I don't know if it's this going bad or what, but apparently that's where I'm at, which is wrong because that's where I'm at. Which that could be wrong too, I don't know. So if anybody can help me out with that, let me know. And I still have to get the lights switched in here and everything else. Ooh, boy, that's loud. Anyways, so God, I'm liking this. It's turning out really nice. All I gotta do is just come back in. I'm gonna paint everything that's white black. Everything that's white black. And then all the stuff here, like this is, I don't know why the hell I painted that. That was so stupid of me to do that. So I'm gonna rip that crap out of there and actually do my own color of fabric in here. And this is gonna be the cobalt blue, and same with that. If I keep that, I don't know, I might take all that out and just keep, of course, the trimming, but rip all that out and put my own gauges in there. I don't know yet. And then I'm gonna come back in here and take these off and paint them blue too, and then come back and put blue lights in here, which I do have because right now they're red and I don't like red that much, but as you can see, they're red. So I'm gonna definitely change that out. And for the stereo, it has its own settings for different colors, so that's good. But other than that, everybody, that's what I've been doing. So if you guys have any questions about how I've been doing this, how everything's wired, I can definitely show you guys how I wired everything, but that's going to be a long process. And plus I would have to take that panel off, completely off, to get to the back of the panel. So I could show you guys how I made each switch to power, negative, what switch goes to what, blah blah blah, certain crap like that. So like I said, I still got to do the tail lights, but I am going to take off the back tail lights and pull them apart and actually probably do my own design headlight or tail lights in the back.
and do my own design back there. So I'm definitely going to do that. So I'm going to pull those apart and get some LED strips and certain colors and put them through there, and then hook it all up to the new system, and there you go. I still got to put in the speakers for the stereo and everything else. So yeah, I'm definitely liking this build. It's getting there, and I'm happy the way everything's turning out, and it looks 1,000 times better than it did before when I first got it. I tell you what, it looks so freaking much better. Like I said, it still needs a lot of work. I am getting turbo for it, definitely putting turbo in it. I definitely got more room over here for some other crap. Like I said, eventually these will be gone. I don't even need this anymore, actually, because everything's running off of the new fuse box. So technically I could take that out of here, but my fuel line is still connected to that. The dashboard gauges are still connected to that, and the alternator light is still connected to that. But other than that, that's it. So after I disconnect all of that and figure it out on my own, then I can get rid of that. So that would be awesome. But like I said, please, anybody out there, let me know if that's the right connection to the gauge on the inside before I start taping all this back up and, you know, putting my heat protection on there and whatnot. But let me know if that's the actual right wire, which is the black and white. And then of course you got the blue and white, and then you got the green, and I think it's orange. Yes, green and orange. So please let me know which one of these is my RPM, so that way I can connect it the right way. Because like I said, these didn't quite work, but this one seems to be working. But the way the way the RPM was moving, as you guys can see, it wasn't really doing what it needed to be doing, like that RPM is. So just let me know if that's the right one. If not, no big deal. I can change it out and whatnot and get that fixed. I went ahead and sprayed down my windshield wiper arms because those were like a shit orange green, or shit orange. I'm sorry, Jesus. That was like a crappy orange. Just let me put it that way. And then underneath that crappy orange was crappy green. This car had so many different colors on it, it wasn't even funny. So yeah, but other than that, I'm pretty stoked on what the car, how far the car has gotten. And also, thanks to my buddy, he gave me an amp. If I could pick this thing up. So I'm pretty stoked with that amp. I haven't plugged it in yet, but it's 1200 watt, and apparently the center, or the circle piece where the plexiglass is at, that turns red. So I might actually take that apart and put a new color in there, because like I said, red is okay, but I don't like a lot of bright red, so I might change that out and put a blue bulb in there. Oh yeah, and thanks to my beautiful wife, she got me some new windshield wipers blades, because mine were pretty trashed, really trashed. And also my brand new welder helmet finally came in the other day. So here pretty soon, I'm going to start welding some things. So I'm pretty stoked with that one. And I like it. She knows my taste. So anyways, everybody, peace out. I'm good for today. All I wanted to do was to come out and plug in my RPMs. So if anybody out there, please let me know what color I should plug that into. But other than that, peace out, everybody. I hope you enjoy the video. If you want to send me a friend request on Facebook, it's in the description beneath the video. So other than that, peace.